Hi not board gamers and welcome back to Not Board Gaming. I'm your host, I'm Mark. Now today's video is an unboxing video and I am genuinely very excited by this unboxing video. Why am I excited? Well, today's game is possibly the biggest game to be released in 2020 and I know it's been out for a few weeks now over in America, but over here in the UK we do not get to see this game for about another month or so. What am I talking about? Of course I am talking about the kind of bastard child to the granddaddy of games. We are talking about Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. That's right, the standalone game for Gloomhaven by Isaac Childres and Cephalofair games, which can also be added to Gloomhaven as an expansion as well. Now, as I say, this game isn't available in the UK, but my very good friend Mr. Randall Lloyd from Eagle Griffin Games was kind enough to send me a copy over. So, whilst you're in the UK and you're waiting for your copy of Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, why not check out some of the fantastic Eagle Griffin games that you can get, like The Gallerist, like Vinyos, like Escape Plan, like On Mars, like Lisboa. Man, and you know, I got all of these. Well, I haven't got Lisboa yet, but that's coming. But I am in love with some of these Eagle Griffin games, these Vita Lacerda games. So yeah, go and check those out. However, let's get back to Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. So kind of a shock announcement last year that this was going to be coming out and it was going to simplify how people play Gloomhaven, because Gloomhaven is notoriously kind of a complex game to get into. Once you get the rules down, it's fine, but getting into it and of course laying it out on the table it's a whole journey. It's part of a kind of ritual that you do there. So Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion has come out to kind of ease people into Gloomhaven and give them the full Gloomhaven experience by the end of it. I'm really excited by what's inside this box. Look, I can't pretend it's going to be totally spoiler free. I don't know what's inside the box. I will try not to spoil anything, but you know, I cannot promise that. So let's have a look at what you get inside the box of Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion by Isaac Childres and Cephalofair games. So come on, do I really have to explain Gloomhaven at this stage? Yeah, okay, fine. So Gloomhaven, for those that don't know, is this large, sprawling, kind of dungeon crawler hand management game where you will battle enemies across this legacy campaign over 90 odd scenarios spanning the rest of your life if you want to take it, unlocking various minis, etc. And it is a fully, massively immersive game. Lots of people have got Gloomhaven, not many people have finished Gloomhaven, and it's, you know, for new players it can be a little bit tricky to teach. So Jaws of the Lion was brought along to kind of ease people into that and take some of the burden away, as I said, from kind of setting up. So we can look on the front here. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, a fully cooperative adventure, campaign adventure by Isaac Childres and Cephalofair games. And here we go. We've got some items on the table, which could well be the items of the characters that are in there. We've got a map, and yeah, it's quite an evocative cover. Quite a thick box. Oh, there we go, you can see that. And on the back it says, "You are a member of Jaws of the Lion, one of the most infamous mercenary groups in this rundown backwater. When a sinister cabal starts disappearing the less fortunate of the city, it somehow falls to you to get to the bottom of it, so long as you get paid for your trouble." And here we go, it tells you everything that's inside there. So let's just have a quick look at this. 2 scenario books, including 25 scenarios, learn as you play guide and rulebook, 4 playable minis, each with their own decks and character sheets, 16 unique monsters, each with their standees and decks, a city map with stickers, 20 event cards, more than 20 event cards, more than 100 tokens, and extra content revealed as you play. 1 to 4 players, 30 minutes a player, age 14 and above. And over here it tells you of the minis that you get in there. You've got the Demolitionist, you've got Hatchet, you've got the Red Guard, and you have the Void Warden. Yeah, this looks great. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion is a fully cooperative campaign game of tactical combat in a unique fantasy world. Players will assume the roles of hardened mercenaries and work together to fight through a campaign full of choices, challenges and twists. Each scenario offers streamlined tactical combat without dice against fully automated enemies, where using the right ability at the right time can mean the difference between success and failure. You don't need anyone to prepare the campaign or control the monsters. Just open the box and start playing together. That makes it sound so approachable. Right, so it's knife time. Let's do this. And remove the cellophane. There we go. It's nice and easy to remove. And now we can see the box in its glory. Yep, there we go. Without obviously the cellophane reflecting off there. Just mildly readjusted the camera there just so we can get the full experience when we open the box. And here we go. We have the first thing, which is a sheet, which says, "Welcome to Gloomhaven. Stop. Read this before you do anything else. There are more components in this game box than you may be used to, and it's important to make sure that they are organized before you start to play the game. This sheet will give you step-by-step instructions on how to easily organize your game box, where to go from there so you can start playing as fast as possible." What a great idea, because sometimes you get these games and you just don't know what to do with stuff. So there's a learn to play guide, a scenario book, supplementary scenario book, a rules glossary, a city map board, and sticker sheets. It tells you about the various standees. There's a plastic tray to organise things in, initiative order tokens. Do not open the small boxes with A, B, C and D markings, so I will not be doing that as part of this unboxing, of course. We've got the large took boxes, monster sheet envelopes, card dividers, battle goals, item cards, small took boxes, attack modifier decks, dials. Look, if you played Gloomhaven before, then you will be aware of a lot of this stuff. It's what's in the main game. And of course, there is a Rodney Watch It Played video. You can follow the QR code for that. First thing is a learn to play guide. This is a nice book. It tells you what to do with it on there, how to read it. And let's have a look. This is some 30 pages long. So yeah, there's quite a few, but it does give you everything that's in there. Okay, so it looks like it's easing you into the scenarios. And I think that's what happens, is it drip feeds you part of the game as you play along, basically, and opens up more and more rules. So I think when you're first playing the game, you're playing a cut down version of Gloomhaven for the initial scenarios, then scenario 2 will add more, scenario 3 will add more, until by the end of the scenario book, this learn to play guide, so maybe scenario 5, you're playing the fully formed Gloomhaven. You've got a glossary. So yes, a card anatomy, components list, treasure index, monster turns, component integration, and misplaced goods index. That's good. That is good, because I do think that the original Gloomhaven rules, which are good, they do kind of leave you wanting because you're trying to cope with a lot of things. So this glossary is some 31 pages long, and it gives you various things on there, and treasure, etc. We have a supplemental scenario book. Okay, so maybe we'll come back to that in a bit. And then we have the main scenario book. So these are the scenarios that you play with. Now, Gloomhaven itself has loads of tiles that you lay out in a big expansive space. Of course, you need a lot of table space for it. With this, what Isaac Childres and Cephalofair games have done here is, quite ingeniously, your scenarios are in the pages. So this becomes your player map, which I think potentially, one of the things about Gloomhaven, when you lay the tiles out, is you don't see what's in the next room, or you're not meant to see what's in the next room until you make that move, until you open that room. And I think this potentially gives you an indication of what's in the next room. So it may take away a minor bit of mystery, but in reality, it will give you so much more, because this is your playing area. Other than the stuff you're going to lay out around it, this is your playing area. You're going to put your minis on here. And there are, how many scenarios? Let's see. There are 25 scenarios in the book, and then you have supplemental scenario book as well, which has got another, God knows how many, quite a lot, another 17 supplemental scenarios. Don't know how they work yet, but yeah, so that is fantastic. I think that is kind of the future of Gloomhaven, and I think that there's been calls for Cephalofair to actually do something similar for Gloomhaven and for the upcoming Frosthaven as well, so you can play those in a book and reduce your play time. Thematically, you may still want the tiles. I know if I'm playing full Gloomhaven, I probably still want the tiles, but I like this option as well. Okay, so some stickers there, and what you will do with these stickers, you will put them on your world map as and when certain things are unearthed on that map. Then we have a number of punch cards, not tuck boxes, and we can see, so there's the coins. They're nice thick card. There's the coins, there's the various damage tokens and some of the flow markers there, and your element tokens as well. Traps and what have you. Here are some of the bad guys. Yeah, look at these. Don't think any of these are in the main game of Gloomhaven. Oh yeah, they are. I've seen this guy before here. There you've got your element sheet. Now for the astute amongst you, you may see a gap there. That's because that one literally just fell out as I was as I was getting the punch boards out. So yeah, looks like a mix of new and old monsters in there. What they are, I do not know. Some fantastic artwork on there. Look at that. And here we have some more tokens, some hit tokens, some exclamation points, turn order tokens, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, turn order tokens, which is a good thing, because if you're battling a lot of some monsters, it can become difficult in Gloomhaven to remember who's going where. Now, if you've got Gloomhaven, you'll know it comes with a massive, massive world map that you put stickers on and banners on, etc. And we saw the stickers earlier. This is the world map that comes with Childres of the Lion. It's a nice thick card. It's A4 size paper. Sorry, it's A4 paper size, so it's not too big a document to actually try to work with. So I'm just going to close this scenario book up for a second. And we have, in the main part of the box, oops, sorry, not my light. In the main part of the box, we have the health and experience points tracker dials. So if you've got Gloomhaven again, you'll know what those are. And there's 4 of those. There we go. Look at this. This is the future. This is what all games should come with. So I know in the opening bit I mentioned Eagle Griffin Games and things like Vignos and the Gallerist and On Mars have fabulous looking kind of game trays in there, and it looks like Childres of the Lion's gone down a similar route and given us something there that we can absolutely work with to start storing things, because we know that in the main Gloomhaven the biggest gripe that most people have is the amount of storage. Oh, look at these. Oh. We have A, B, C and D little boxes, which I am not opening. They've got a little rose seal on them. You can see there. I am not opening those because the instructions tell me not to open it. So there is a semi-legacy part of it. Then we have these, which is generally, I keep knocking that light. These are your kind of, whichever character you choose, you'll have all their various cards. I'm not spoiling anything here because all the characters are available to people as and when you get the game, unlike Gloomhaven where lots of them are locked away. So you have the Demolitionist here, the Quattril Demolitionist, and look at the artwork there. That's absolutely fantastic. Looks great. You do have a separate kind of XP and health tracker down there. Let's just look inside of one of these. What else have we got? We have some little punch tokens there. We have their hit, their modifier deck. We have halt. Do not open this pack of cards until you're directed to do so. Good, because that's got that in the back. We're not going to do anything with that then. Halt! Do not open this deck of cards until your character reaches level 5. At that time, flip this card over and read the back for further instructions. Okay, so that's Demolitionist cards, and we can see there's more stuff for the Demolitionist there, and that's the initial starting hands, I think, with a player reference sheet. So it's nice that they've kind of hidden everything away. And of course, we have a reference sheet for them, and that's what you get inside the Demolitionist. There are 3 others. We have Hatchet, we have Void Warden, and we have the other one as well, which I can't remember from the opening, but you're going to get similar things in there. So I'll not open all those, just open the Demolitionist, and for the rest, if you get in the game, what's in there will be a nice surprise. So here we go. Here is the mini for the Demolitionist. Now this is always one of the favourite parts of Gloomhaven when you open a new mini, but of course in Childres of the Lion all these 4 starting characters are available to you. So let's have a look and see if that focus. There we go. And that is the Demolitionist mini, and I should imagine that at some point we will start to see some really, really lovely painted minis from Gloomhaven, Childres of the Lion. And we also have Hatchet, we have the Void Warden, and the other guy that I can't remember, or the other person I can't remember, in the form of their minis there as well. Look, again, I'm only opening the Demolitionist. I'm not going to open all of them because I'd like to maintain some element of surprise. We have some city cards, which are there, which I'll not read the back to. Yeah, and there's a neat little amount of city cards there. We have your gold cards there. So yeah, lose a card to negate suffering 5 or more damage. Yeah. Lose a card to negate suffering 5 or more damage, and a nice little amount of those. We have your item cards, and the Eagle Eye goggles, if you've got Gloomhaven, will probably be familiar to you, but there's quite a few items you can buy with their numbers on there which tell you as and when they come out. And then we have what looks like the monster hit deck, or the monster attack deck. So if you don't know, you will use this basically when you're dictating how you fight your monsters, because there are no dice in Gloomhaven. For a big sprawling game, there's no dice. Then we have our various monster cards themselves. So these are their decks. When you pull them out, it gives you their initiative number and also what particular attack they're going to do. There's quite a thick deck of those. There's quite a few monsters, obviously. And they're the boss ones. And there we got a screaming shot for whatever that is. And that says it's got an initiative of 85, so it's quite high up. Will probably take its turn quite late in the round. It's got a push 1, target all adjacent enemies, and then attack +1 at a range of 2. Shuffle this deck at the end of the round. There we go. It's got that little symbol on there, which means you kind of reshuffle that. So we have standees for the cardboard cutouts. We have baggies, which can be useful by the looks of it for everything there. We have, what's these? Oh, monster attack modifier. Oh, so these are dividers by the looks of it. So we've got some dividers to put in place which say monster attack modifier, unavailable items, and encountered events. So that's some dividers there. And down here we have the monster kind of cards themselves. This is where you'll upgrade them. You'll have a particular level depending on how well you're doing, and this will dictate what their attack and their base attack and moves are. And as you can see, the blood tumor, sounds horrible. Let me take that out of the packet so we can see it properly. 1 second. So here we go. We've got the blood tumor at level 1, 10 times C there, 1 times heal self. Let's see, no move. And C, whatever C is. Then it goes up 2, so you go from 10 to 12 as the monster increases, to 15. There's a 0, sorry, there. So it's from 7 to 10 to 12 to 15. So it's kind of its health effectively doubles over the initial phases when you take it up to level 3. And on the back, we go from level 4, 17, 20, 23, and 28. So by the time you're reaching a level 7 blood tumor, you better make sure that you are really, really kind of beefed up. And for those of you that don't know how this works, what you got is these here, and you would put, say we're fighting a level 1 blood tumor, that would go in there, and that would signify the level of baddie that you're fighting. And these numbers around here are used when you have multiple baddies of the same type on the board. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for what's inside Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. Should we check underneath just in case? Yeah, I didn't know whether we were going to hide anything underneath the box. So, that's great. I mean, I'm genuinely excited, I think as everybody is with Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. It's going to make a game that feels for some people inaccessible. It has just too many moving parts. Too much of a faff for a lot of people to get genuinely excited by it. Whereas, when I say a lot of people, obviously it's kind of the #1 game, Gloomhaven, but you know, it can be a bit daunting for a lot of people, and certainly for a lot of people who are new to board gaming. So it's good to see. I think it's fantastic what Isaac Childres and Cephalofair have done here by including everything in a playable format. They've created something that makes it more accessible to absolutely everybody and anybody that is interested in playing Gloomhaven at any one point. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion by Isaac Childres and Cephalofair Games. Ta-da! And wow, okay, so that looks great. I think there's no denying that looks great. If you've never played Gloomhaven and you've been interested in Gloomhaven, well, it looks like Jaws of the Lion could be a really good access point for you. I think it's going to retail in the UK for somewhere around about £40, which I think is an absolute steal given what you get in that box. There are certainly a lot of kind of games with less that retail for more out there. I think that it's going to make a great entry point for Gloomhaven. If you got Gloomhaven like I have, and you're kind of time constrained, then this will make a good alternative to actually playing the full game. You know, it's still going to take some time to lay out and get everything out, but nowhere near as long as Gloomhaven. I really enjoy the ritual of getting the full Gloomhaven out. Of course I do, yeah? Kind of just getting everything out, spending some time putting it out, looking at it, working out the puzzle. Here, it's pretty much all out for you. You know, you lay that scenario map out, you know what's happening there. But I'm still going to enjoy this because it's going to be kind of more of a blast. And I really like the way that the rule book eases you into the Gloomhaven rules, and I think that's something that was missing from the main game. It kind of just throws you in at the deep end with everything, and there's a lot to take on, whereas Jaws of the Lion, I think, is going to be a great way to ease people into it. So yeah, there we go. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion by Isaac Childres and Cephalofair Games. This has been Not Board Gaming. I'm your host, I'm Mark. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please remember you can like and subscribe to the channel. Do check out our other videos, and in the meantime, if you can't find anybody else to play with, there's nothing wrong with playing with yourselves. Bye bye.